everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're going to be doing a review of the new Slumber Party Massacre that just premiered on Sci-Fi last night. Now before I get into this though, I'm going to need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also please consider supporting me on Patreon, the link for that will be in the description below. Alrighty, now let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
You son of a...
God, don't do that.
But sometimes that is better.
So before I watched this new remake, I did watch the original film as kind of a refresher. It's been a minute since I've seen that. It's actually been maybe 2 or 3 years since I watched the original for the first time. And going back and watching that original film, I realized after doing some research on it, it's supposed to be a parody of slasher flicks at the time. That original film is a very feminist film, but it's kind of an undertone. It's something that's not out in your face like how a lot of political movies are today. There's these grotesque shots of just so many girls naked in that original film, and it's done purposefully because it's supposed to be making fun of the genre at the time. It's why are we seeing all these naked girls? There's absolutely no reason for this shot to be included in this film, and that's a running joke through the original Slumber Party Massacre, although maybe a few people don't see it that way. And I think it's hilarious that that original movie is supposed to be a parody of slashers that came out in the early 80s. It almost seems to me like maybe the production studios didn't realize it was supposed to be a parody, and they just saw a script that was full of boobs, and they're like, hell yeah, throw it on screen, man. Not sure if that's the case or not, but if it was, that's pretty hilarious. And I think that original film works for me so much because at the end of the day, it still is a parody of slasher films at the time, and it's pretty fucking hilarious. It also seamlessly fits in with all of those other slasher films at the time. I think it's kind of genius, if I'm being honest. This new remake, though, kind of misses the mark on that whole idea of trying to keep it underlying and seamlessly fitting in and being the secret parody. I still really liked the remake. I think there's a lot of really cool changes that they made with this new film, but overall, the message that it's trying to send, they shove it down your throat. And I feel like that's not the most powerful way to send a political message like that. Both of these films are very clearly about sexual misconduct and how women are constantly blamed for it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this film, there are literally characters with lines of dialogue that say, yo, this is our message for our film. You might as well have just written that into the script. It doesn't feel seamless. It doesn't feel like they're actually having a natural conversation. It's almost like the characters just looked right at the camera and spelled out everything that was going on in the scene for you. That kind of spoon feeding really just isn't for me. I'm someone who's always looking for a deeper message, and then when you just kind of spell it out and tell me about it, it's just kind of annoying. I am well aware that everyone who watched the Slumber Party Massacre, the original one from the early 80s, they're gonna miss that. Some people are gonna miss that message, sure, but I think it's more intelligent. You're gonna break through to more people if you keep it underlying, you keep that message kind of not hidden underneath, but something that you kind of have to look further than just the surface level to understand. Films like Black Christmas 2019, Promising Young Woman, this movie as well, they have a good message to send, but they try to shove it down your throat, and then I feel like what ends up happening is you get the opposite result as of what you wanted to from making this film. It's supposed to be a little educational towards people who don't quite understand that. And then what's going to happen is that the target demographic you want to understand that is going to completely miss the point and just get angry and post something stupid about it on Twitter. And to me, that totally sucks because there's so many people that will go online and say that these films are anti-man and all that, and they're totally not. This movie is definitely better at sending the message, but it's still way in your face a little too much, especially towards the ending. I loved the twist that the girls are going there to kill the killer. That's kind of genius to me. I actually really enjoyed that. I love anything that takes a typical slasher format and diverts from it. I don't love the mother twist. It's definitely feeling a little Friday the 13th-y for me. It's a little too close to that. But I do kind of get the message they were trying to send there with maternity and how that can affect children if they're not taught correctly how to act and behave around other people. That's definitely what they were trying to send with having the mother character be also a crazy killer who didn't teach her son all that well, and that's why her son is crazy and murdering people with a giant drill. I'm not gonna lie, I was geeking out though when the original killer is fighting the guy with the guitar from the second film. What, I don't even love these movies that much, but that I was geeking out about. That was honestly one of my favorite scenes from this whole freaking new movie. So cool that they included that. There were so many different crazy references from the past films that I really appreciated. Some of the girl characters in the movie are actually wearing some of the same clothes from the characters in the other films, which I think is cool. It has a lot of the same humor from that original film where there's like all a shit ton of fake outs where it's like it's just a random person tapping on your shoulder and then it's like, oh, it's just like a boyfriend character or something instead of the killer. There's a lot of fun Easter eggs hidden throughout this entire film if you're a fan of the franchise. And overall, even though I did kind of just go on a rant about how I think this movie still is like a little preachy, it's much better than a lot of these other films that are coming out trying to preach the same thing. If anything, I would say this is one of the better films that has come out with this message in the past like 3-4 years, and I think it does a really good job with it. You trim down that like last 20 minutes and honest to God, you have a pretty decent remake here. I gotta hand it to the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm not like the biggest fan of their originals or like any of their like content so much. I'm sorry, I hate to diss on them, but like that's just my honest opinion. But this was pretty good. I honestly had a good time with it. I think it's a really enjoyable film. It's digestible and also has a very strong message behind it, which is like a really good mix. Director Danishka Esterhazy, who I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm not 100% sure. She also directed the Banana Splits movie, who a lot of you might be familiar with that, and I think she does a pretty good job with all the films that she's attached to. I'm very excited to see what she does next. What did you guys think about the new Slumber Party Massacre remake? Leave me a comment about it down below. Thank you all so much for watching my new review video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Just look up KillJoy Jake and I'll come up. Please consider supporting me on Patreon as well. The link for that will be in the description below, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.